Hello, I'm Pete Marrero, the National Promotion Coordinator for the Dallas-Fort Worth chapter of NORML, the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws. And today we're with a very special guest. You may recognize her from That's My Boy, from Taken 2, Hotel Transylvania, and then also
Bud's House.
Bud's House.
Mac and Devin
Go to High School with Snoop and Wiz Khalifa.
Right.
Miss Luenell.
That's right.
So, Miss Luenell, obviously, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to sit down and talk with us today.
You're very welcome.
So, obviously, our organization is about legalizing marijuana.
Yay.
Love it. So, tell me, how long have you been an advocate for marijuana? Because you've been in a whole bunch of movies that support it. So, how long has Miss Luenell been an advocate?
Well, I think that I was a user way before I was an advocate for it. But I think the thing that made me the advocate for marijuana use and legalization is the many friends that I have who died of AIDS and were unable to eat, and marijuana gave them an appetite, and people that I know that have cancer and they have insomnia, and marijuana makes them be able to sleep. So that's what made me become an advocate. Just being a casual user was one thing, but making me an advocate was definitely due to all the medicinal uses that marijuana can be.
So it was more of a personal thing then.
Yeah.
I see you have a lot of friends in the industry as far as that are smoke related, like Snoop and everything. Does Miss Luenell hang out with them and smoke out with them?
I'm not that type of smoker. I don't know what type of smoker that is. It just goes back to back to back to back to back to back to back. I don't understand the purpose in that, because for me it's just like if it takes you only 2 hits to get high, that's all it takes. You know, if you take you know, a bowl or whatever like that, then that's all it takes. I'm not an abuser.
Yeah,
I'm a user. And I'm old school. I don't like blunts because I don't smoke tobacco. I don't like tobacco. I don't like people who smoke cigarettes. Cigarettes are bad. Weed is good. Cigarettes are bad. I only smoke out of pipes and papers.
Okay.
I'm going back to regular, like, rice papers and stuff like that. So.
Excellent. Now, were you surprised? Obviously, you know, 2 states have legalized, Colorado and Washington. Were you surprised that those 2 were the first to legalize besides California?
Yeah, I was surprised that California wasn't the first. I was surprised by Colorado, absolutely. Being an entertainer, of course, I want to do the Amsterdam run. I'm hoping that I get booked in Amsterdam, because I just can't imagine the freedom that it is to be able to go over there and go to those cafes and actually like have a meal and smoke a joint after, right at the table. So everybody who goes says they have such a great time. Hey, Amsterdam, I want to come. And so I'm looking forward to doing that. And when the legalization happened, I want to know how legal is legal. Like, can you actually, you know, sit out at an outdoor cafe, at a dinner restaurant, and can you smoke there?
Right.
Or are they going to be legal with stipulations? You know what I mean? I want to know how legal the legal is going to be. So I'm sure there's going to have to be stipulations, but, you know, as far as people going to jail for it, that's what's got to change, because nobody's ever broken into somebody's house and stole a television set because they wanted to go buy some weed.
Right.
Never happened.
Right. You don't have the crime rate high because of marijuana.
Non-violent, yeah.
So most marijuana users are just, you know, they're just too tired to even want to commit any crime anyways.
Right.
So, no, you gave it a little shout out to Amsterdam. Were you surprised when they asked you to do, I understand you're doing the Dosha Cup?
I am hosting the Dosha Cup along with my friend Red Grant, fellow comedian. And it's so funny because it's very underground. They don't give you the address until like the day before, and we're the hosts. I've been to a lot of 420 parties in Los Angeles before, and if they're anything like what the Dosha Cup's going to be like, it should be very exciting. I know they're going to have a lot of edibles and awful different strains of marijuana there, and you know, we'll see what it is. I don't know what to expect. I'm just going.
So are you hosting? Are you judging? What exactly?
I'm hosting and judging.
No. Are you do you partake before you actually get on stage or do a film, or are you able to? Or
I don't know how. I don't know. I'm going to be the Simon Cowell of marijuana that night. I don't know what to expect. I don't know how it's ran, but they chose me, and I'm happy to be there, and the money's good. Yeah, I'm paying it, you know.
So with I got to ask about, you know, Mac and Dre go to high school with you, with Snoop and Wiz, the ultimate, you know, the epitome of all pot smokers. So
did you see it?
Of course I've seen it. Yes, I have seen it. So and I love your character.
Mac and Dre go to high school.
Yeah, you.
Mac and Dre. Mac and Devin. Watch Mac and Dre too, or Mac Dre, or whatever. Watch Mac and Devin go to high school. Yeah, it's the real pop movie.
So now when you've done other things with Snoop. So you do a little show with him as well, a little podcast show as well. GGN.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit, because I've seen some of the episodes with you and Bishop Don Juan and Snoop, and you guys just go hard. It's just so grimy.
It's so underground. And so like I think you have to really be a big follower of the Bishop and Snoop to really even know that it's on Twitter. It's like our Twitter show.
Right.
And,
the underground Twitter show.
Way underground, but it's really super fun, and it's very, very popular amongst the people in the know. And yeah, we are totally stoned doing the whole entire thing. But Snoop has like license in LA to do whatever he wants. He goes to, places like Wendy Williams' show, and Snoop can smoke in his dressing room when nobody else can. He goes to nightclubs and have like a eighth on the table. They're just sitting there rolling it. And they just let him do whatever he wants to do, because he's not like getting drunk, fighting nobody in the club. He's just smoking.
He's just relaxed.
And which is another reason to just go ahead on and legalize it, because you probably would have less bar fights if people were stoned at the club than drunk off the tequila, or like that asshole that was at my show this last show.
Right.
He wouldn't act like that if he was stoned, only because he was drunk. And then drunk driving could be cut down, and people would be a little high. That might be pulled over for driving too slow. But yeah, that show is a lot of fun to do, and I'm glad that Snoop has included me, and we have a whole lot of fun doing it. And I suggest y'all check it out on Twitter, GGN News.
And did you have just as much fun when you were touring with Cat Williams? Because obviously Cat is obvious smoker too. So
actually, we didn't smoke as much. Nobody can smoke as much as you smoke when you're with Snoop. So period.
So you reached the plateau.
Happening. Yeah, that's the king. Not happening.
Now, to get a little serious for a quick second, now what would you say to individuals that, medicinal users who want to speak out about the positive things about it but are afraid to? Because obviously our organization is out there to just basically talk about the positivity, and there's people that are out there that really refrain from speaking their mind. What kind of advice would you give them?
I think the only way that anybody would be afraid to is if, like, you don't want your grandkids to know that you light up at night, or you don't want your mom or your dad or something to know that you smoke pot. And, if you're going to live your life in fear for that, that's just like coming out and being gay. You got to be who you are and say who you are and live your truth. So I would just say that, if it's something you want to get behind the cause and support it, because it does do a lot of help for a lot of people in more than just a recreational way. If you want to stay in the closet, that's your business too.
Excellent. What do you have coming up next? I mean, I know obviously you did 4 movies here this past year that were successful. So what's coming up next for Miss Luenell?
Well, I have a movie coming out in June called A School Dance, that's written and directed by Nick Cannon. And it's starting all the heavyweight comics: Mike Epps, Cat Williams, myself, Kevin Hart, George Lopez, and it has Wilma Valderrama in it, and Amber Rose, and some DeBarges, and the RZA from Wu-Tang plays my baby daddy. And that'll be out in about it's summer release. That'll be out in June. I've been doing some work with Charlie Murphy recently, and I was in the show for TV Guide Network called Stand Up in Stilettos. I just did a show that's coming out on TBS in April called Who Gets the Last Laugh. That was produced by the Ashton Kutcher people, sort of like a punk type show, punk type competition show. My prank goes up against some other people's prank, and the audience picks whose prank was the funniest, and then there's a grand prize. So, and they're still doing the road, and trying to make folks laugh here in the club. It's my first love.
And you did a phenomenal job at that.
Didn't I?
And you did a movie with Bud's House, wasn't majorly released, but it had Faison Love, and you guys were the stars.
Yeah, Wesley Jonathan, and just a bunch of crazy folks. And that's another underground little flick, very pot related. Really funny though if you're stoned. Like, I don't even suggest watching it if you're not stoned. Right.
And Mac and Devin's kind of the same way for the most part, because that's how it starts off. It's animated, it gets into it, and with the talking joint.
Yeah.
So you gotta love that. So
speaking of animation, you can even get high and watch the animated film I did last year, Hotel Transylvania. That's for everybody. It's not just for kids. It's for everybody. It's really, really good. It's the best animated film that I've seen and been in. Hello.
That's really cool. You played the shrunken head in that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty. Now, how was that
I
experience?
don't usually shrink them. I just make them grow. But
oh, you done changed the rating, the whole thing.
hello.
Well, I just want to thank you for spending time with us and sitting down and talking to Normal and letting us know how Luenell feels.
Thank you for my button and thank you for all my swag.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. So
the new normal.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Miss Luenell.
All
we
right.
appreciate you. We love you. And on behalf of Normal and DFW NORML, thank you.
Action.
All right. Hello, I'm Pete Marrero, the National Promotions Coordinator for the Dallas-Fort Worth chapter of NORML, the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws. And today we have a very special guest with us. You may recognize her from Think Like a Man, Hotel Transylvania, Bo Rat. She's Taken To. She's just, been all kinds of things. That's My Boy with Adam Sandler. There's just a lot of things this woman has done. She's been around for a while, but she's just making a huge impact in the industry. So please welcome comedian and actress Luenell. Cut that shit.
Wow.
Excellent. So, oops, I'm stuttering for a second. Sorry, this will get edited out. So how? Oh shoot. Excuse me.
That's okay. Keep rolling.
Do it again. All right. Just keep rolling. So, so tell me, of all your travels, why? I'm stuttering again.
Maybe you should have wrote you some questions down.
That or I should have smoked.
Well, I do hang out with them. I do smoke out with them, but they tend to be real heavyweights. I'm just a lightweight. Look, and is that your phone? Lord,
No.
you need your ass whooped.
I know.
I want this interview to go unedited, just like this. Yeah.
So far, they're trying to put bans as far as the recreational use, but
yeah, because I'm sure that people with kids don't want to sit here and have weed smoke. Are you serious?